And welcome back to the channel, everybody. Here, Lucas from Mars, back again with another video of this MLB Show 22 custom franchise that we have here, and we are just finishing up the first full month of the season here in April. So we're just gonna do a quick stat and standing recap of the first month of the season, and kind of what we're seeing here early in this year as. We're here focusing on Toronto at first, but we're just going to sim this game, and there is a critical situation in this game right here. Houston ahead by a single run with Toronto trying to come back, but we're going to assimilate to the end of this game. We're not going to hop in here, and the Reapers did end up winning that game. So the Reapers, one of the better teams that are in the league right now. They have started out the season really good and really well, but we will look at them a little bit later on here in this video. We're going to first look at kind of the scores, some of the scores that we saw in that last day here of April. And we start at the top with Winnipeg losing to Montreal in this game 5-6. Montreal getting a big-time 3 spot there in the bottom of the 8th inning. Right now, Winnipeg is basically both of these teams right at 400. Basically, Montreal is a game above 400 at the moment. And Montreal's offense, I mean, that's going to be the issue for them here this season, is this, can their offense be productive? A good game there from Wilmer Difo and Alex Kirilloff. Alex Kirilloff had a 3-run home run, it looked like, in that one. Phoenix getting a win here over Boston, who was one of the better teams to start this season, actually. We already saw Houston over Toronto, and then Seattle, winning 4-3 over Tampa Bay. Seattle's been very good this season so far. Los Angeles walking that game off in the 11th inning in extras against New York. Mexico City destroys Vancouver here in this one, 11-4. And Atlanta gets 12 runs on an onslaught against Oklahoma City, winning that one 12-7. Nashville wins their final game of the month, 5-7 over New Orleans. Charlotte here gets their 10th win of the season over Columbus, who was started out 15-12, and Charlotte there at 10-17. Las Vegas over Minneapolis 2-1 there in a close one. And Indianapolis gets another win here, a shutout win over the San Diego Sharks. St. Louis also gets a shutout win over Chicago. Colorado gets a shutout win over Kansas City, with Kansas City getting 10 hits but no runs. Portland over Salt Lake 2-1, and San Francisco over Richmond 2-1. So a lot of lower scoring games there in that final day of the month. But really quickly, we're going to look over some standings here, and the Boston Barons, again, a team that I didn't really see coming to be this good this season. They have been really good, 19-8 so far. The Honey Badgers at 16-12, and I figured they were going to be a pretty good team here. Expos at 14-13, Wizards at 500 and 11-17 for the Firebirds. Move on to the other division. The Raptors there in their 5th-ranked team, and they're 17-11. The Dragons have actually been pretty good, despite being the last-ranked team in this franchise here at 16-11. Phantoms a game above 500, Canucks a game below 500. And then move over to the American League West, and we have a tight race here between the Reapers and the Diablos. Reapers 18-9, Diablos 18-10. The Bison as well have been pretty good, at 16-12. Meanwhile, the Vipers really have struggled. They're 3-7 in their last 10 games, and they're 8-20 right now overall this season. Quick look at the wildcard rankings there. But then we go over to the National League East, and we see that the Atlanta Crusaders have that top spot in this division here, and they have the first team rankings this year right now. The Cardinals at 15-12 are there as well, but the Stars have been playing a little bit better as of late. They're all 5-5 in their last 10 games. They are 14-13. And then the Arrows have the best overall record in this league right now. I believe they are 20-8, so they have one more win than Boston does at the moment. The Millers 13-14. The Sluggers have had a disappointing start. They are 12-16, and the Blue Sox and the Monarchs both are 10-17, but the Monarchs have gone 8-2, in their last 10 games. And then over in the National League West, it's been a kind of a tip-top division here. The Gamblers actually right now are leading this division with the Bees at 14-13, the Rattlers at 13-14. The Sharks have lost 7 games in a row, and they have fallen to 3rd place in that division. So now we're going to look at some stats here, and these pitchers have had about 4 starts overall this season so far. 39 innings, 40 innings basically for the aces of these pitching staffs here. And Shohei Ohtani's been excellent. Hyun Ryu has a 3.38 ERA. Luis Castillo has struggled. So has Patrick Sandoval. Brady Singer has been okay in 25 innings. Starting rotation here for the Firebirds has really not been great besides Ohtani. Casey Sadler has got 10.1 scoreless innings underneath his belt here with 9 strikeouts. That is a pretty impressive start to his year. James Hoyt has only given up like 1 run in 11.2 innings with 10 strikeouts. Chris Davinsky's got 19 innings already, and he's got a pretty decent ERA there. Ryan Butcher seems to get like 1 run in 6 innings. And then the rest of the bullpen there. And it's a, overall good bullpen in that. It looks like it's been a pretty good bullpen and not an amazing pitching staff overall. Steven Strasburg in 37 innings, not that great. Ian Anderson at a 2.84 ERA in 31 innings. He's been pretty decent there. Taijuan Walker has actually been pretty good as well in 31 innings. Only a 78.9 overall. Anthony DeSclafani, not really much there. And Luke Weaver, not terrible there for the 5, but I mean, nobody's doing like insane for this pitching staff, and it's not overall a very good pitching staff, I don't think. Sam Conrud, though, has been really good in that long relief role so far this season. But overall, the bullpen here for the Vandals is not good at all. Really have been struggling this year so far. Nick Anderson does have a 3.12 ERA and a sub-1 whip, but overall not great. There's Logan Webb here. He's got 40 innings under his belt, and he has a 2.25 ERA. He's been really good. Marcus Sherman's been okay, but Cal Quantrill, how about him? 39 innings and a 1.38 ERA with a 1.15 whip. That is really impressive, and that's a guy with only an 80 overall that you do not expect to have that kind of a start to his season. Griffin Canning has been decent so far, and Caleb Killing has really struggled, unfortunately. So, overall, though, that's a really good pitching rotation. We'll take that. And there's the 2 long relievers. Not great, not amazing. Hector Neris has been pretty good. Carl Edwards Jr. sucked. Reyes Miranda hasn't given up a run, got 10 strikeouts. Tim Mays has been pretty decent. And Jim Minter has been alright there, the setup role. And then Aroldis Chapman has not given up very much at all this season. So far, he's only given up 1 run in 9.2 innings. So, he's only an 80 overall. Might not. We'll see how he does the rest of the year in that closing role, but honestly, that's a good start for him in the closer position there, as the Chinooks and Chris Sale's struggling a little bit. Tyler Molly's doing alright. TJ Antone is struggling. Tyreek Skubal is not pitching well either. Josh James sucks. So it's a bad pitching rotation right here for sure for the Chinooks, and that's one of the reasons that they've just really struggled to begin this season there. John Gray is a long reliever. Probably will move him to the starting rotation at some point soon because, man, Josh James is just that bad. Justin Topa has been maybe the best pitcher in this entire pitching staff here. Well, maybe not, because Giovanni Gallegos has pitched 9 shutout innings, and, he's one of the best closers in this league, so they only really have him to look at in this bullpen, but, man, he's given up only 2 hits so far, and is 8-0 in save opportunities this season. That is pretty impressive. But, yeah, overall, really bad pitching staff here for the Chinooks. And then we go over to the Dragons, and you got Shane Bieber, who in 43 innings is one of the better pitchers in the league right now at a 2.08 ERA. Remember, we pitched with him, and he kind of struggled, and he still has that ridiculous ERA. That's insane. Kenta Maeda has a 2.48 ERA in 29 innings. And Albert Alozolai, I don't know how you pronounce that name exactly, has been decent, and Alex Mills has struggled a little bit. But, Shane Bieber and Kenta Maeda, those are 2 guys that have been ridiculous. Wandy Peralta has given up 1 run in 16 innings so far this year. He's been excellent. Craig Stammen has been a decent one reliever there. JJ Chargois has given up no runs so far in 18 innings this season with 9 hits allowed. I mean, that's really impressive numbers by him. Jose Alvarez has been decent. Zach Groscup is only a 2.88 ERA. Rex Brothers is, I don't know why they give him so many innings because he's not been good. But Oliver Perez has been really good. Tyler Matzek, though, has already blown 4 saves in only 9 opportunities. So that's really bad right there. And, man, that's fortunate. I mean, overall, the pitching has definitely carried this team in the early parts of the season, and yeah, that's so bad. We're going to move Tyler Matzek out of the closing role here, and we're going to move him out of that setup role, I believe, as well. So let's put JD Chargois there. He's been excellent, and, you know, that might not be what it will be for the rest of the season, but I don't know. The bullpen, ratings-wise, is not great for that team, but, you know, it's been decent so far to begin the season. And how about Tyler Glasnow? He's been really bad here as this team's ace, and this team has struggled this season, of course, so, I mean, the pitching has definitely been a big part of that, but, man, that is a really bad start for Tyler Glasnow, and Aaron Civale has had to keep up the slack for Glasnow here overall this season. He's been really good, but, I mean, yeah, the rest of this pitching staff has been really bad. I mean, that's brutal. Brutal starting rotation right there by the Scorpions. And Brian Sammons has sucked, and Tyler Clark. I mean, those are both really low-rated guys. I think it's hard-pressed that they wouldn't have anybody better in their farm system than those two. So might look for some guys that I can call up in their place, because, man, everybody here in this pitching staff is just not doing well. I mean, that was a bad pitching rotation, a bad pitching staff for sure there. But Jose Barrios in 43 innings, a sub-1 whip, and a 2.72 ERA. He's been decent, way better than he is in real life at the moment. James Paxton has been not great. And this is one of the better teams in the league here, so interesting to see that, you know, Yarbrough's doing okay. Mike Minor has been, you know what, that's pretty good there in 29 innings. But Elenos De Los Santos, you know, in 4.1 ERA, it's not bad. But, you know, I honestly would have thought that this pitching staff would have been a little bit better for their record, but definitely Jose Barrios has been very good there. Ross Stripling has pitched 28 innings, so he's pitched a lot this season already, and he has a decent resume there. Bujdar has been pretty garbage. Alex Vesivia has only gotten 2 outs. Man, this bullpen, Connor Brogdon's not been great. Daniel Hudson has been pretty good, though. So, I don't know what to make of this bullpen here. Connor Graveman has gotten 4 scoreless shutdown innings. But Paul Seawold has really struggled to begin the year in 8.1 innings. So, it's a very interesting bullpen. You have a couple of guys that are doing all right there, but overall could be a lot better. And then we move over to the team that's neck and neck there with them in the Diablos. You got Brandon Woodruff, who's been excellent, pitching really well. Logan Gilbert, though, has struggled out of the starting rotation here this season. But Shane McClanahan has been ridiculous. A 1.78 ERA and a 1.19 whip. I mean, 41 strikeouts in 35 innings. Like, not a strikeout guy. I mean, his K-9 there it was like a high 60, but man, he's been really good. But overall, I mean, honestly, besides Woodruff and McClanahan, this pitching staff hasn't been all that great. Bradley Falter has been pretty good, though, out of the bullpen. And let's see, moving down, Jason Adam has been, you know, it's very small sample size in only 4 innings. Emilio Pagan has been not great. As Matt Strom, though, he's been awesome. 13.2 shutdown scoreless innings and 17 strikeouts. And Matt Strom has been off to a really good start in this team's bullpen here. And then Adam Simber, 4 or 5 innings scoreless. And Aaron Loop has, 8 innings, and he's been all right there. in that setup role. Then you, of course, have Josh Hader here as his team's closer, and you get down to him here. Josh Hader's been excellent, of course. A 1.98 ERA and a 1.1 ERA WHIP. 12 saves and no blown saves this season. He has been really, really good, and I mean, he's one of the better rated closers in the league, so that's not really surprising, but man, he's been excellent. So we move over to the Vipers, and this is the team with the worst record in baseball right now, I believe. They're 8-20. So not going to see a lot of good things here from this team, and especially the pitching. Eric Fetty has been the best guy out of this bullpen, out of this pitching staff overall, and I mean, that's just a decent season. It's not really anything super special by him. So yeah, definitely a bad starting rotation by the Vipers here. And going over to the bullpen here, Edgar Santana, yeah, 22 innings, and he's been pretty good there in that role, but he's only a 16 overall, so, you know, we'll see how long it'll last. But Edgar Santana, I don't know if he's a rookie or not. He's a young pitcher, I think, but he's been good so far. Ryan Harper as well here, 30 innings and a 2.1 ERA. Man, he's been very good. So the two long relievers have been excellent. Jace Fry's been pretty good. Diego Castillo has been alright. And Andrew Kittredge has also been decent with that sub-1 whip and 9.1 innings pitched. So, I mean, actually the bullpen really wasn't too bad, but the starting rotation is really bad. So, move over to the Jazz here, and this team is pitching. Freddie Peralta's not great. David Peterson has sucked. John Means has really been the only guy here in this rotation that has been really average to above average in the pitching department. Shane Bass has a 2 whip. That is absolutely awful. So, yeah, bad pitching rotation there. Not good in the long relief department. Tim Hill has been good there in that bullpen for them in 13.2 innings. Shane Green has been all right. Garrett Couche, small sample size, so can't tell with him really. But Ryan Presley, you know, he's been pretty good. 8.2 innings and a 1.04 ERA. That's I'll take that from him. So an interesting team there. The pitching is just not really there yet for him. And we move over to the Oklahoma City Bison here, and everybody in this pitching staff basically is in a cold streak. And, yeah, nobody's got under a 4 ERA in this pitching rotation right now. That is really unfortunate. I think that they're, I don't know, I can't remember what their record was exactly, but it's not, you know, they're below 500 team. And, I mean, man, this pitching staff here, nobody's been good. Dylan Betances has been all right, but, you know, Richard Rodriguez has been decent there, but, man, it's been a rough sledding here with this pitching. Raisel Iglesias, though, yeah, in 10 innings, you know, a sub-1 ERA, so giving up like 1 run in 10 innings pitched. He's been the only guy that really you can turn to in this bullpen and really as a pitcher overall for this Bison club right now. Their starting pitching has really struggled. Jacob deGrom, I mean, you know, the strikeouts are definitely there. It's really not been a Jacob deGrom-like start to his season, though. I mean, he's going to turn it on, I would expect, in this season. He's a 99 overall. He's too good. His stats are too good for him to not be absolutely dominant, but he really hasn't been all that crazy dominant so far this season in 41 innings, so we'll see how he can improve on his numbers this year. But, you know, definitely the ace of the team. I think he was his team's first-round draft pick, if I remember correctly. Husker Urena has been absolutely garbage. Man, that's really bad there. But yeah, I mean, he's carrying the entire pitching load right now because nobody else in this Crusaders rotation is carrying the weights. And that's kind of the thing about this team that you worry about. Brad Hand has been good there out of the bullpen. But who else besides Jacob deGrom is going to be there to catch up the slack? And Archie Bradley and Cody Kella have not given up any runs, and neither has Seth Lugo. So, wow, that bullpen there has been very good. And, man, 8 strikeouts and 9 innings for Lugo. And then Edwin Diaz, who, you know, in real life, one of the better closers in the league. And he's only 83 in this game, and he's been excellent, only giving up 1 run in 10 innings. And I might increase Edwin Diaz's stats just a little bit in this game because, man, I don't think it's really fair that he's an 83 overall. But, man, that is a really good bullpen, actually, there. And, again, you just need somebody besides Jacob deGrom to pitch well on that team. Ranger Suarez here is on a hot streak, and man, he's been one of the better pitchers in the league. He's been unbelievable there at the 2.09 ERA. But really, as a whole, besides Ranger Suarez, you will need to see more from these some of these pitchers if you are the Nashville Stars here, for sure. Renato Lopez has been really good in 33 innings so far this season, though. Let's see what the bullpen is looking like here. It's not off to a great start so far. Paul Fry, don't know why I said David, there 4 innings shutout. Mark Melanson has been okay. Trevor May has been okay too. So the bullpen has been all right there. And again, got to find somebody besides Ranger Suarez. So we go to the Cougars here, and this team's pitching is not probably going to be that bad. I mean, they got Clayton Kershaw there. Johnny Cueto's been decent, and Nestor Cortez, Nasty Nestor here, a 75 overall pitcher with 8 potential, and he has been excellent so far this season. And so I did increase his stats. He was like a 70 overall beforehand. I might increase him a little bit more even. But he has been very good with a 2.45 ERA. So the pitching for the Cougars here is not the problem because their pitching has actually been very, very decent. Carlos Martinez is injured, though. He's not injured for a long time, but he's been good as well. So, I mean, they got some good pitchers on this team. Will Harris out of the bullpen has been excellent. Darren O'Day has kind of sucked. And Kenley Jansen has been good, though. So the pitching for the Cougars here, not too bad. It's just the offense that is really holding that team back. And then the Cardinals here, Justin Verlander, that's not typical of him. He's actually kind of struggled at the beginning of this year. Alek Manoah has been, all right. Alex Wood has been pretty bad. Yusei Kikuchi has been pretty good, actually, at 76 overall, and so has Steven Brault. So, I mean, overall, it's definitely the pitching that, is doing a lot of the job here for this team. It's not a bad pitching staff there, but it's not amazing either. Here's more Petite, decent there out of the bullpen here, and, overall, we're seeing this bullpen do, it's alright, it's pretty good. There in Alec Lutez, I don't pronounce that last name, but move on to the Rhinos here, and we got Walker Buehler, who's been pitching well. Lucas Giolito at a 3.67 ERA has been just okay. Jose Urquidy, though, has been very good in 41 innings, 2.41 ERA, and a sub-1 WHIP, and he's got peak potential, so a guy you definitely want to do well and improve on his ratings in this game. Hector Santiago, 13.2 strong innings this year so far, with 7 strikeouts in that long relief role. Clay Holmes has been very good there out of the bullpen. Anthony Bass and Water Suero have not given up any runs yet. Jordan Hicks has not given up any runs in 3 innings. And Craig Kimbrell has been very good as well in that closer role for the Rhinos. So definitely 7 saves and no blown saves. So the bullpen has been actually really good for them, and the starting rotation has been okay for them. Garrett Cole here, a guy that's been unbelievable this year, 41 innings and a 2.18 ERA with a sub-1 WHIP. I mean, that's ridiculous. Luis Garcia there has been really bad. I don't even know if Luis Garcia is a... does Luis Garcia have the stamina to be a starter? Don't even know. But Matthew Boyd has also been really good as well. You get to see that. Man, Jordan Lyles, this is one of the worst ERAs that I've seen. 20 innings, and he's given up 26 runs. So I don't think he's going to be in that starting 5 for very much longer because, man, that is just awful. The bullpen here, Camille Duvall has been pretty decent, and there's Devin Williams, who's actually not been that great. I mean, small sample, so can't really judge him too harshly. But, yeah, I mean, Aaron Cole and Dane Duffing there, or I think that, I don't know. No, that was not his name, but Aaron Cole, and there's got one other guy there that's been really good. Move on to the Monarchs here, and Zach Aaron has been pretty terrible to start the season. Zach Gallen's been okay. Kyle Hendricks has been okay. He's been, he's been pretty decent. So is Dane Dunning. And Joe Pyops actually And he does not have the stamina to be an actual full-time starter, so I don't really know why he's there in that number 5 spot. But he's actually been very good. I think this team might have had an injury to one of their pitchers earlier this season. But either way, Mac Myers here and the bullpen is pretty good. Tim Bastar has done pretty decent. He did give up a walk-off home run earlier in the season, but he's a rookie, and so, we'll definitely take that from him. Spencer Patton has been absolutely awful. Dylan Flo has been pretty good. And I mean, the bullpen, for the most part, isn't terrible. The pitching isn't terrible either. I think the offense for the Monarchs has just really struggled out of the gates. And they are, back to their some winning ways. They have been winning quite a lot recently, but man, that pitching needs to get a little bit better for them to compete. And I go over to the sluggers, and man, Lance Lynn, ridiculous. We saw his stats pretty recently in a game earlier this season. He's been unbelievable, and so is Eduardo Rodriguez. I mean, those two guys are just unreal. 1.45 ERA for Lance Lynn and a 1.52 ERA for Eduardo Rodriguez. Carlos Carrasco and Tristan McKenzie are garbage, but man, those are two pitchers that have been carrying that whole pitching staff right there, because everybody else has really struggled. David Price, the old guy there, and the long relief role has been pretty decent. Pedro Ortiz as a rookie has struggled a little bit there, and Tyler Duffy has been pretty decent. Ryan Tepera, 7.1 innings, and has not given up a run yet, so 7 saves and 7 opportunities for him so far. That's pretty good. Only 4 hits allowed, but there's Pedro Ortiz, and he's a rookie credit player from the game, but he's been not too great to start the year. So, I mean, overall, again, if you want, you gotta get more help from those starters, but man, those are two guys doing excellent. I think speaking of excellence, there's Max Scherzer. Of course, he's going to do excellent in this game. 2.27 ERA and a 1.06 WHIP. Justin May has been very good in 34 innings as well with a 2.6 ERA. Dylan Cease has been really decent there as well. 3.53 ERA. Antonio Sensatella has actually been pretty decent there, pulling his way. 3.33 ERA. With a 1.36 whip. I mean, that's pretty good for him, considering he's a 77 overall. But yeah, definitely the pitching staff here for this Arrows team has had a really good start to their season. Probably the best pitching staff overall in the league right now. Christopher Sanchez has been really good in that long relief role at only a 63 overall. Cole Sulser has given up 1 run in 11 innings. Cesar Valdez has been good. Hunter Wood hasn't given up anything. Neither has Brian Abreu. Pedro Baez has been okay, but Garrett Whitlock in 13 innings, 2.08 ERA, and 13 saves already this season. That is ridiculous through the first month of the year. So yeah, he's been very good, and definitely a good pitching staff here in Indianapolis. So we go to Kevin Gausman, and he's been decent. Ramon Marquez has been really good, though, with a 1.88 ERA. And in 43 innings, only 9 runs allowed. That is awesome to see that. Kwang Hyun Kim as well. Here has been ridiculous in 32 innings with a 1.95 ERA from South Korea. Man, a 77 overall and a C potential player. He's kind of come out of nowhere to have a really strong start to the year. Only 7 runs allowed in 32.1 innings. After a 3.46 ERA in 106 innings last season. So we'll see if he can keep it up. And then Sixto Sanchez has been decent there, the 3.19 ERA. So, I mean, that's a really good starting rotation right there at the moment. Kevin Gausman with a 3.68 ERA. But that is, I mean, you don't take that from your starting 5 every day of the week there. That's a really good starting 5. And the bullpen here in 14 innings. Good job by Chris Martin so far. Blake Trinan has been pretty bad. And so has Liam Hendricks, actually. 9 ERA. I mean, he's 90 overall closer, so not sure he's struggling that much, but he's already blown 3 saves and has given up 10 runs in 10 innings, so definitely not what you want to see out of Liam Hendricks. And overall, bullpen has been, just decent, but the starting rotation has been pretty good as well. I mean, pretty good overall, definitely for the Millers. Then we go over to the National League West here. And you get Corbin Burns, who a 2.41 ERA so far in 40 innings. He's been excellent. Miles Michaelis has been really good in 38 innings. Mike Foltynewicz, actually, in 25 innings, he has been really good. And Drew Smiley, in 33.1 innings, has given up a 0.54 ERA. He's given up 2 earned runs in 33 innings pitched this season. 29 strikeouts, 10 walks. I mean, that is crazy. He has a low ERA, then he has a whip right now. That is just insane. So, we'll see if that can last for him. He's never been a guy that has been really all that impressive. 4.4, a 4.04 a career ERA, but that is impressive. Have quite a start, and you can see why this team is leading this division right now, because those pitchers have been just ridiculously good besides Sean Manaea. So, definitely a team carried by their pitching staff right now. Long relief, not great. Juanes Munoz has been not great. And, those guys are very small sample. But Rowan Wick has not had a small sample, 10.2 innings, and he's been very good. So is Caleb Thielbar. And Phil Maton as well here, 2.45 ERA in 11 innings. So, bullpen isn't bad, and the Gamblers definitely have that first spot in the division for a reason because of this pitching right now. And then you go over to the Rattlers here, and you have Lance McCullers Jr. there leading the way with a 3.38 ERA. Blake Snell got injured earlier this season, so he's only pitched 24 innings. He's been okay. Spencer Turnbull has been pretty bad. Yeah, overall bad pitching here by the Rattlers, and that's why they're below 500 now, because their pitchers have sucked. Cody Hoyer has been decent, though. Adam Ottavino has been decent. Will Smith has been, small sample. And Jordan Romano, though, has been actually good. 8 innings and a 1.13 ERA, 5 saves, and a blown save so far. But, yeah, pitching not the strong suit of the Colorado Rattlers in this franchise, and I guess to be expected maybe because of where they play. But either way, Chris Bassett has been really ridiculous for the Bees this season, and so is Damon the Met, 29 innings and a 2.19 ERA and a .09 whip. That's really impressive. We'll see how long it lasts. 36 strikeouts, actually, too, which is kind of crazy for him. But Alex Reyes has been all right. Evan Marshall has given up 1 run in 13 innings. And Clark has been good in 10 innings so far. Scott Barlow has been good. Taylor Rogers has been good. I mean, that's a good bullpen for sure right there for the Bees. So Julio Urias has been really good for the Sharks here as their ace, a 2.03 ERA so far this season. And Jameson Taillon has actually been really good as well with a 2.27 ERA and a 1.15 whip, 35 innings pitched. So he's had a good start. Wade Miley has had a really good start, actually. A 2.29 ERA this season. And then Rich Hill, not great. Long relievers, Eric Swanson was good there. George Arcala has been okay. And Ryan Stanek has been good there in 13.1 innings so far. Aaron Bummer has been okay. Emmanuel Clase, one of the best young closers in the league here, and he is 9-0 in save opportunities and has allowed 1 run in 10.1 innings. He is going to be a menace for opposing hitters to face for sure. Charlie Morton and Joe Musgrove, how about those two guys at the top of this rotation for the San Francisco Spiders right now? And the rest of that pitching staff there isn't too great, but Charlie Morton, 2.16 ERA and a 1.38 whip. That's impressive right there. Caleb Baragar at 65 overall has been really good there out of the bullpen. So is Christian Javier as a long reliever. 21 innings and has a lot of 1, maybe 2 runs so far. And none of those guys have a big sample to really look at here. But, James Karinchak has not given up a run yet in 8 innings with 9 strikeouts. So he's doing well, but the other guys there in that bullpen, not really. Zach Wheeler, 46 innings already. That is, I think, the most in baseball. And a 1.76, I think, ERA there. That said, that was ridiculous. Kyle Gibson, as well, has been unbelievable here for the Expos. A B potential guy with 79 overall, but he's a 34-year-old pitcher, and he hasn't had a really good season in a long time in real life. A 1.82 ERA right now. He has been ridiculous. So a good pitching there, and Julian Merriweather has been really good out of that long relief role. Brad Boxberger there as well. But, Corey Knebel has been good in 7 innings and with 7 saves this season. I think we need to get somebody else from the majors to maybe go in that final bullpen spot. But I think that's actually what I do here in the game. So I'm not going to bore you with who I call up here. It's not going to be that important. But yeah, we're going to call up a guy to get into that bullpen. But we're going to have to call somebody else down first, it looks like. Well, maybe I don't know if I did that off recording or not. But anyway, we go now to the Winnipeg Wizards here, and Robbie Ray has sucked. So has Corey Kluber. Sandy Alcantara has been pretty good, but yeah, you can see why that team's 500. Their pitching is really struggling right now. Bullpen's not that great either. Brent Suter has been, decent. Cody Stashak has been actually really good. And Johnny Rodriguez has been good. And Shane Green has been good too. 2.25 ERA in 8 innings pitched. But yeah, you need that starting pitching to do a little bit better for you for sure. And I go over to the Honey Badgers, and Carlos Rondon has been excellent so far. So is Chris Paddock. Man, 40 innings and I think that was like a 1.33 ERA. That is unbelievable there. So, David Smelter out of the bullpen here has been really good. Sean Doolittle, 8.2 scoreless innings. And Anthony Bender has been alright. Kirby Yates, we'll take that. 9 innings so far and 8 saves, and he hasn't blown one yet. So the pitching there for the pitching there is really good for the Honey Badgers. Anthony Eovaldi was pitching well there. Zach Plesac pitching well for Boston. But, honestly, the pitching, Nathan Eovaldi under a 3 ERA and under 1 WHIP. But, overall, the pitching has actually not really been this team's strong suit, I wouldn't say. Their pitching has been just kind of average at best here. And their bullpen, those 3 guys have been good. And David Bednar has been really good as well. 10 saves so far in 11 opportunities. But overall, I'm surprised. I thought that this pitching staff would be a lot better here for Boston. But now we go to the lineups here after we looked at the pitching rotation. And let's see what Shohei Ohtani is doing offensively. He's actually not hitting that well at the moment, unfortunately. Only 2 home runs, 6 RBIs. Only batting .217 right now with a 660 OPS. He is too good to not start picking it up, so I think he will at some point, definitely. But right now, he's not really hitting that ball that well so far. Mal Straw is, though, batting .299. Nico Horner is okay. Jesse Winker's got 6 home runs, 11 RBIs. He's been batting well. Peter Alonso's got 9 home runs and 21 RBIs, but only is batting .240 at the moment. .247 average for Conforto. 15 RBIs for Jaime Candelario. And Luis Avelis Jr. is a rookie here for this team. He's got deep potential, so yeah, he's not going to get a lot better than what he is right now. He's doing well in 43 at-bats, but probably going to see him start to tail off. And so then moving on to the Vancouver Vandals here, you got Chuck Nasty, 4 home runs, 14 RBIs. He's been good. J.B. Crawford's batting .291. Ketel Marte is batting .294. And Nolan Arenado, .379 average, 7 home runs, 24 RBIs, and a .454 OPS with a .632 slugging and an over 1 OPS. That is really good. He has been one of the better hitters in the league so far. .271 average with 5 home runs and 14 ribbies for Austin Meadows. And Gabriel Moreno batting .290 right now and 69 at-bats with 3 home runs and 10 RBIs. So, you know what? Overall, I actually got to say that this lineup has not been that bad for Vancouver. Now, this lineup has been excellent so far. .333 average for Benintendi. Gio Urshela has 8 home runs right now. Juan Soto is batting .350 with 11 home runs and 25 RBIs. That's just absolutely ridiculous. A .416 on-base percentage and 12 walks and 5 doubles already and a 1.146 ERA or OPS. That's crazy. Xander Bogaerts got 17 RBIs. Really not hitting that great, but he's an 82 overall, and his hitting stats are electric. Jared Walsh has been not great. Cesar Hernandez Travis Giannone has been okay. Lane Thomas has been whatever. Yanni Diaz has been, eh. So I mean, I kind of take it back. The first three guys in this batting order there, in Benintendi, Urshela, and Soto, have been unreal. But the rest of the lineup has kind of not really pulled this weight right now for them, and that's kind of why they're, good but not great. Colton Wong batting 272. There, Bo Bichette has been good, 320 in average there for him. Kyle Lewis has got 3 homers, 18 RBIs, but only batting 220. Tyler Naquin's only batting 244. Matt Chapman's batting 253 right now. Cesar Aquino has been alright. Carson Kelly's been pretty bad. So yeah, it's not a good lineup there at all. And I'm moving really quickly along with them. And meanwhile, the Dragons, let's see how this team has been really good so far. And Corey Seager has been excellent. 325 on the average, 7 home runs, 17 RBIs. And so has Jose Altuve, 281 average with 8 home runs, 19 RBIs. And the Santander's, 233 average there. Michael Busch, 98 at-bats, 224. And Josh Jung at 87 at-bats, 253 average right now. Corey Lee, 83 at-bats, decent there. So, I mean, you got a lot of rookies on this team. You got 3 rookies right there all in a row on this Dragons roster. And 241 average there with 2 home runs, 12 RBIs. So, it's not a awful... those rookies are not doing awful right now. Not doing amazing either. Wander Franco's kind of struggling right now, unfortunately. Ramon Urias batting 305. He doesn't have a lot of RBIs at all, but I think he's actually got hurt maybe at the beginning of the season. But yeah, it's not a good lineup here. Enrique Hernandez batting 293 with 6 home runs and 11 RBIs though. But yeah, nothing really special there for the Scorpions right now. We go over to the Reapers. Bruno Mondesi has been alright. Matt Duffy's batting 358 right now. 3 home runs, 14 RBIs. I mean, that's ridiculous. A 435 on-base percentage. Right now with a 506 slugging. That is incredible. I mean, this is a great lineup. This 3-4-5 punch is ridiculous. Freddie Freeman has got 21 RBIs and is batting basically 300. 5 home runs, 13 RBIs, but a low average for Rafael Devers. Jay Martinez batting 318, 6 home runs, 16 RBIs. Mike Drew has 6 home runs, 16 RBIs as well. Batting 255. Yastrzemski batting 221. Jesus Sanchez, 5 home runs, 8 RBIs, and James McCann there backing it up. But, I mean, the 3-4-5, the 2-3-4-5 of Matt Duffy, Freddie Freeman, Devers, and Martinez, there's really not a better combo in a lineup in the league than those guys right there. So moving on to the Diablos, and you got Cronenworth batting 324, 5 home runs, 10 RBIs. He's been excellent. JJ Bleday has been pretty good there in his rookie season. Tim Anderson is batting 353, 11 home runs, 23 RBIs. He has been unreal. And that power, I mean, his power has been ridiculously off the charts. And he's got an 814 slugging right now. He's got 6 doubles, 4 triples, and 11 home runs. I mean, that is crazy. He's got over 20 extra base hits right now and 102 at-bats. That is unreal. Like, half of his hits, actually, over half of his hits are extra base knocks. Sonny Grandal, 10 home runs for him, 6 home runs and 15 RBIs for Josh Bell, batting 277 or 227, and Mike Moustakas batting 280, David Bowie batting 283, 4 homers and 9 RBIs, and then Oscar Mercado batting 244, 4 homers, 11 RBIs. But yeah, I mean, man, between Tim Anderson, Yasmani Grandal, and Cronenworth, this is definitely a good lineup here, and they have been performing well. There is O'Neal Cruz, 250, 4 home runs for him. DJ LeMahieu has 4 home runs as well, batting over 300. Brian Buxton has kind of sucked. And so has JT Realmuto, actually, only 207 right now. Spencer Torkelson, 234 with 5 home runs, 10 RBIs. He's been alright. Kevin Pillar has been, Damon Canzone has been really bad. And Garrett Hampson has been, too. So, yeah, it's not a great lineup there in Tampa Bay for sure. Elvis Andrus batting 280. He's been alright. Salvador Perez, 4 home runs, 11 RBIs, but only a 191 average. 5 home runs and 15 RBIs for Ryan Mountcastle right now. He's kind of struggling. Avisario Garcia, though, is batting over 300 with 3 home runs and 12 RBIs. Pretty good for him. Yohan Moncada, only batting 217. Jared Kelenic, though, batting 292. He's been alright. Jazz Chisholm has struggled to begin the year. But Nico Holzhauer has deep potential, but he's batting over 300 right now with 5 home runs and 14 ribbies. So, yeah, again, deep potential, so we're probably not going to see much growth from him, but he's had a good start to the year. But yeah, not an amazing lineup there, certainly for the Jazz. It's a really young team, but not a lot in the way of great averages or anything there. Manny Machado, 8 home runs, 27 ribbies, and a 299 average. Brandon Lau is batting 264, 3 homers and 13 RBIs. Jack Peterson's got 5 home runs. So has Tony Kemp. Sean Murphy has been alright. Carlos Santana's been decent. And Novi Marte, 259 on the average. And no home runs, 5 RBIs, 80 so at bats. And go to the Crusaders. Akil Baddoo, only batting 215 right now. Wilmer Flores, alright, 293, 2 home runs, 13 ribbies. Anthony Rendon has 6 RBIs and 15 ribbies. Luke Voigt has got 8 home runs already, 281 average. And, I mean, the power for him off the charts, and he's actually having quite the start to his season in 89 at-bats so far. And then Eloy Jimenez has had a couple of big hits this season already, 6 home runs, batting 250. Javi Baez, who got injured earlier in this, or maybe not, never mind, he just doesn't have a lot of home runs. Adolis Garcia, 4 home runs and 18 RBIs, but the average is not there. I mean, honestly, this is not an amazing lineup. Like, I look at this, and on paper, it looks like not a bad lineup at all, but in practice, this is not an amazing lineup for Atlanta. Now, Nashville's lineup is really good. Paul Goldschmidt has struggled, though, batting only 210, but he's going to get going at some point this season, I guarantee it. 8 home runs and 20 RBIs for J.D. Davis. But Mike Trout is absolutely incredible, batting .430, 8 home runs, 20 RBIs. He is the focal point of this team. 13 doubles already this season, and he has an .828 slugging right now, a 1.323 OPS, and a .495. I mean, he's got almost 500 on-base percentage at the moment. 13 walks as well. And, yeah, I mean, he's the best hitter in baseball for a reason. One of the best players in baseball for a reason, and he's proving it right now. 40 hits in 93 at-bats, so absolutely ridiculous. And he's got a 2.4 WAR already in just a month time. That is Mike Trout for you. That's just ridiculous. So, yeah, definitely the best hitter on this team. One of the better hitters in the entire league. And then Kyle Schwarber has 7 home runs and 14 RBIs with a 247 average. Francisco Lindor only batting 231. Victor Robles is not I don't think he's really a starter most of the time. And Gavin Lux has kind of struggled. But Manny Pena batting 282 with 6 home runs, 13 ribbies. But, yeah, I mean, Paul Goldschmidt, Mike Trout, and Kyle Schwarber, those are 3 guys that are going to help carry this offense, I believe. I mean, Paul Goldschmidt's not going to be that bad for long in this season. I almost guarantee it. I mean, I do know what happens because I am in the future in this game, so I know that he picks it up. But yeah, he's not a guy that's not going to be good. Justin Turner, definitely the best hitter in this team right now. Albert Pujols has got 6 home runs, batting 207, but he's at 685 career home runs right now. So that's definitely a milestone watch that we'll be keeping on and going throughout the season. John Waller has, really struggled this season. Randy Arozarena. Here, moving on to the Cardinals has been good. Trey Turner's batting 317. And Mitch Haniger, 5 home runs, 17 RBIs. He's been great. So is Jesus Aguilar, 8 home runs and 25 RBIs with a 255 average. Then Grichuk and Todd Frazier batting 323 right now. Rudy Odor batting 325, 2 home runs and 12 ribbies. And Thomas Nino is batting 326. So somehow, some way, this is a lineup that has just been incredible, actually. One of the better lineups that we've seen in this league right now. I mean, you got most of the guys here in this lineup batting, close to 300, but man, that's a really good lineup there. The Rhinos here, and Alex Bregman is only batting 229 right now with 3 home runs and 6 RBIs. But Frank Schwindel batting 341, 3 home runs, 12 RBIs. He's on a hot streak. That's ridiculous. 225 for Rosario. Cody Bellinger has been decent, batting 260. Reese McGuire is only, and Peter Morris. Those are not guys that aren't even starters most of the time. I don't know why Peter Morris is in that lineup. He's only a 65 overall, but anyway, that is not a great lineup there for sure. In Richmond, Adam Frazier batting 282, 4 homers, 13 ribbies, and Jose Ramirez has actually really struggled out of the gate right now, only batting 186. So that's definitely not good there. Manning Belt 253 on the average. Crawford 209. Corey Dickerson only 238. And yeah, just not a lot of high averages on this pitching rotation or this lineup at all for the Blue Sox, and just not a great batting order here for Chicago. Now let's see, Chris Taylor, not good there. Brendan Nemo batting 323 though, with 3 home runs, and Jordan Alvarez 326, 7 home runs and 18 RBIs. Yeah, he's definitely hitting the ball well. Jose Abreu's kind of struggling though. Alex Dickerson 291, 4 home runs, 10 RBIs. He's doing well, and Longoria's all right. Riley Green has definitely struggled at 83 at bats this season. But Bobby Witt Jr., 2 home runs, 9 RBIs, and 293 average. That's pretty good there for him. I mean, honestly, it's not been a terrible... That's not a terrible lineup there in Kansas City. I think this team has potential definitely to, we'll see what they do the rest of the season, but I think they have potential to be not a terrible team in this league. Giancarlo Stanton, 294, 5 home runs, 11 RBIs for him. Matt Olson's been good, 263 on the average with 5 homers and 12 ribbies. Julio Rodriguez, 1 home run, 4 RBIs, only batting 193, so yeah, not been great since he got called up, but I think he can catch fire for sure. Matty Duvall batting 200, and it's not an amazing lineup here right now for the Sluggers, honestly, and their pitching, when we saw it, it wasn't all that amazing either, so I don't know, I thought the Sluggers were going to be one of the better teams in the league, but that's kind of not proven to be the case. So now we go to the Arrows, and this is the team with the best record in the league, and we saw their pitching already. It's really excellent. And Vladimir Guerrero Jr. batting 308, 8 home runs, 18 RBIs. No surprise that he's been excellent this season so far. 4 home runs and 16 RBIs for Josh Donaldson. Canada's been batting well, 288 with 3 homers and 12 RBIs. Danny Jansen has actually been pretty good in 73 at-bats. And Zach Veen, no home runs yet, but a 333 average with 9 RBIs. I'll take that for sure from the 66 overall rookie. Austin Hayes and Yorby Vivas have not been great this season, but yeah, I think it makes sense why this is one of the better teams in the league, because that lineup, very good. The pitching is excellent. Luis Arraez batting 314, and Tatis 264, 4 home runs, 12 RBIs. AJ Pollock 258, 5 home runs, 18 RBIs. Chris Bryant struggled. Kevin Cease batting near 300 though with 20 RBIs. And Eugenio Suarez, not great. And Joey Bart has actually been, not too bad. But that's a good lineup though. I mean, not terrible. Tommy Edman batting over 300. Brian Hayes batting 284. He's been good. Starlin Marte batting 261. And Framber Reyes only batting 198. Jorge Soler, 7 home runs, 16 RBIs. That average is low for sure. But we'll see if he can catch fire this season. The lineup for Las Vegas, that's one of the reasons that I don't know how sustainable this team's run is, because that lineup is not great. But here's Brian Reynolds, who's batting 400 at the moment, 42 hits and 105 at-bats, and 14 walks, so a 467 on base, so really good for him. Carlos Correa, 300 average, 2 home runs, and 12 RBIs. Mookie Betts has actually struggled this season so far. So has Bobby Dolbeck and Seth Brown. Lincoln Trace is alright. I mean, yeah, the top 2 guys, definitely been fire for the Rattlers, but the rest of the lineup, questionable. Magical batting near 300 there. He's been pretty good. Joey Wendell has been alright. And Ronald Acuna only batting 250, but the home runs and the average is definitely there. And CJ Cron has actually really struggled so far this season. And yeah, the lineup here for the Bees is just not all that great right now. We go to the Sharks. Jonathan Daza batting 296. Dale Carlson batting 314 with a homer and 8 ribbies. Max Muncy's got 22 RBIs and 7 home runs. already. And Eduardo Escobar's got 16 RBIs, so he's been good there. And, I mean, yeah, overall, 182 average, 4 homers, 12 RBIs for the rookie, Alex Tomas. Overall, I think that's a pretty good team there. 337 average for Ozzie Albies, who's been excellent. Adley Rushman struggled, only batting 198 right now, 5 RBIs, no home runs, so would like to see him do a little bit better. Tyler O'Neill has been pretty good, 7 home runs, 19 RBIs. Trey Mancini, 263 on the average there. And Patrick Wisdom has struggled so far. And Omar Mazar batting 290, but 3 home runs and 9 RBIs. Definitely take that. He's been pretty good there. And Eduardo Sosa also batting over 300 right now, with a home run and 7 RBIs. And then Edward Olivares struggling right now. But honestly, for what I thought that team was going to be there, not a terrible lineup. So Nicky Lopez, not great. Bryson Scott has not been great. Only batting 221. Joey Votto, 4 home runs and 12 RBIs, but man, that average is only at 172. Will Smith has really struggled as well. Willis Garner Jr., probably definitely the best hitter that we've seen so far, but 6 home runs, 17 RBIs for Alec Kirilloff, who's actually been having a good start to this season. But Joe Springer has been, alright. And yeah, I mean, that lineup for the Expos is definitely not good. It's definitely the pitching carrying this team right now. So Bryce Harper batting 370 with 11 home runs and 23 RBIs. Definitely the star of this show there for the Wizards. Nick Castellanos as well, batting 316. And he's been really good. Willie Adames has been really good. And so is Kiba Ruiz, batting over 300. So that's a good lineup there. I mean, I'll take that for sure. Tommy Pham has been decent. Definitely a good lineup. Now Christian Yelich, 3-5 average, 3 home runs, 11 RBIs. Good leadoff man right now for the Honey Badgers. And Aaron Judge, 282 average, 6 home runs, and 21 ribbies. Of course, he's been good. Austin Riley's now got 9 home runs and 22 RBIs already. Miguel Cabrera, 279 average, 3 home runs, 14 ribbies. So, old man power here. He's doing pretty well for himself at age, I think he's like 40 right now in this game, but he's been good. And the back end of the lineup here in New York is just not that great. Ha-Seong Kim has over 300 on the average, but he's not the best rated player. So, yeah, top of the order, good. Bottom of the order, not so much for the Honey Badgers. So let's see this lineup here for Boston. I'm really curious. Kevin Kiermaier batting 330. And Kyle Tucker, 4 home runs, 19 RBIs. He's been excellent. Darren Ruff is batting over 300 with 4 home runs and 10 RBIs. Luis Orias, 6 home runs, 15 RBIs. And McCutcheon, actually, 6 home runs, 18 RBIs. And Alejandro Kirk is batting 288. And Kevin Biggio over 300 with 5 home runs and 14 ribbies. Wow. That is an incredible lineup right there. How about that? 19 RBIs for Tucker. I mean, Travis Story still does not have a home run somehow. That's kind of ridiculous. But, man, 6 home runs and 15 RBIs. And McCutcheon batting 273. That is an impressive lineup right now by the Barons. And that is definitely the reason that this team has been so good this season. Alejandro Kirk doing so well is awesome to see. But, man, that is an incredible batting order right there. So we've gotten all the way back now to the Firebirds where we started. And so that will kind of recap the stats and the standings a little bit here for you. In this one, in the next phase, we got the draft coming up next month. But we are now in May. And, well, that is the recap of the first month of the season. So we'll do another recap video like this before the home run in the All-Star game. So before when the All-Star break is gonna set to go, we'll look at the stats and the standings again, and we'll get set for a good May here and some videos in May for sure. But first month of the season is over, so we will continue with this franchise next time. Actually, we're gonna have we will actually now have another video of this franchise next time. So stay tuned for that. The Barons will be featured in that next episode. So stay tuned and notify yourself for when I release new videos. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button if you made it this far. And if you like these videos. I hope you're having a wonderful day, everybody. And my name is Lucas from Mars. You've been listening to Lucas from Mars here in this episode, and we'll see you next time. Alright, have a great day, everybody, and God bless.